Hey guys, it's Amy at Zoe Beck, and I'm gonna do part one of my October book haul. So for 2023, I kind of went a little crazy. Most of my books are used, but I still bought a whole bunch of new books. Yeah, that's it's. I didn't do very good. So I did read a good quantity of my books, but I also didn't read as many as I should have. So I have to still work on this whole ratio thing because I'm not doing very good. So I do have 24, I believe, used books or remand books. So they're both, I put them all together. So they're all the books that I got discounted or were used, so I got them a lot cheaper. So we're going to do that first. So a lot of these I got at a library book sale. A lot I got at Pals. Some I got from thrift books. I think those are all the places I got them. So anyway, so we're going to go into it. We'll start with let's start with the one nonfiction. Well, there's two nonfiction, but one is different. But this is my one nonfiction I got by Thor Hansen. It is I think it's called The Triumph of Seeds. So I have his bee book, his bees. I haven't read that yet, but I've heard good things about this one, about seeds, how grains, nuts, kernels, pulses, and pips conquered the plant kingdom and shaped human history. So it just sounds really interesting. Again, I do like nature nonfiction, so I got that one at one of the used bookstores. The other one that's kind of a nonfiction that I'm hoping to read this month is Why I Write by George Orwell. So this is it's one of the great ideas little books from Penguin. So this is talking about political language. It's designed to make lies sound truthful and murder respectable, and to give an appearance of solidarity to pure wind. So I just kind of want to read this. Not that I really like political writing or like that kind of thing, but I think it'd be interesting to read this, and I got it, as I said, pretty cheap. So I do hope to read that pretty soon. One of the classics I got was The Prisoner of Zenda by Anthony Holt. I saw Jenna at Chicky Bean Loves Books rave about this, and I really love adventure novels, and so I have read several from the Victorian period, but I didn't know anything about this one, so I'm looking forward to it. I think it has to do with a man who looks like some official in some fake, I think a fake country in Europe, and he is forced to pretend to be the prince or something. I'm not quite sure. Maybe I'm getting confused with my stories. But anyway, so I do want to read that. Maybe next October or hopefully before that. And then I did pick up a copy of 2666 by Roberto Bolaño. This is one of those books I've been wanting to get used for years that I just never picked up. It did cost me $5 for this big chunker. I did want to get the one that was split up into 3 so it would be easier to read, but it's one of those books that is like not quite on a bucket list, but it was one of those ones I kept looking for to see if I would ever find a copy to at least try it. I'm not saying I'm going to enjoy this. I have no idea what is some town, and I don't know anything about this. I don't think it's exactly finished is what I remember hearing, but I don't remember now. So anyway, the point is that I finally got a copy of this, so we will see. It might be one of the ones I want to try. Is it big enough for a mammoth? Oh yeah, it's over 800, it's 885 pages, so it could be a mammoth this next year. Probably not this year, we'll see. I did get a couple historicals. I got 2 Tessa Dare historicals. I haven't read her in so long. I realized that I have quite a few historical romances that I have not read. I just have not been in the mood for too many of them. I did focus on Jennifer Ashley this year, but there's quite a few Tessa Dare that I haven't finished, and this is the series of the Girl Meets Duke series, the one that she hasn't completed the series yet. So I had the first book on my TBR, and I haven't read it. And then these are books 2 and 3, The Governor's Game and The Wallflower Wager. So those just put in my collection. I'm hoping to get to them at some point. And then I picked up a copy of Kaikei by Vaishniva Patel, I think is how it's said. I'm not sure. This is a book that I actually won a Kindle copy of on Goodreads, and I never read it because it was on my Kindle, and I just never got around to it. And so it's a historical fiction based on, I think it's a I don't know if it's the word myth, but it's something with history, something with Indian classic, but I can't think of what the story is. I know I bought the book that goes with this, the I don't know, what do you call it? The what it's based off of or something. Anyway, so, but I know it's about a woman and she's not looked well in the story, but this is her story, so she gets to tell her story. Anyway, I've heard good things about this, and I know that this author has another book coming out. I'd really like to read this one at some point. Then I have quite a few, what do you call it? Well, I have one urban fantasy. So I did pick up Blood Cross by Faith Hunter. So I read the first book, Skinwalker. I believe it's Skinwalker, the first one. This is the second book in the Jane Yellow Rock series. So I had mixed feelings on the first book, but so many people said, or a couple of people said to continue or that it gets better from other things I've seen. Again, it's a really long series. So I wanted to give it one more shot, but I didn't want to pay full price for the book. So I got a second book, this number 2. There was quite a few at the library book sale. I could have picked up like a whole bunch of the series, but I decided not to because I wanted to see if I would like the second book or if it is a series I'm going to DNF. So this has to do with a woman who I think has to do with vampires and stuff around New Orleans, I think. And the first book was interesting. There's just some things I didn't like about it. And I liked her magic and the things that happened. But I can't remember now all of it. So I might have to revisit that before I read this. But I do want to try this hopefully soon to decide if it's a series I will continue or not. And then I have 6 books. Oops. As I throw them. Sorry. That are from the Love at Stake series. I am reading this series by Carolyn Sparks. I'm reading this from with Berna at Berna's Bookish Adventures. We read Vamps in the City in October, so I bought this just before our buddy read. So I bought quite a few because I got them all off thrift books. So again, book number 2 is Vamps in the City. We are going to read Be Still, My Vampire Heart here in this next week. So I'm looking forward to book 3. And then I have book 4, The Undead Next Door. They're not all great condition, at least I have them. All I Want for Christmas is a Vampire, which is book 5. Book 6 is Secret Life of a Vampire. And book 7 is Forbidden Nights with a Vampire. So I figure by the time we get a little farther in, I will buy more of them if we continue. So far we've really enjoyed the series. It's definitely a paranormal romance series with a lot of humor, and it's vampires. It's just fun. So I'm looking forward to the next one. And then I have several Darcy Coates books that I got used, all these at Powell's. So I have been reading through Darcy Coates' horror backlist and trying to get through them. The only one of these that I have read is The Cairo Haunt, which I read in October. So again, most of these are haunted houses or haunted people kind of stories. So this one was a really good haunted house one. I have Craven Manor, The Haunting of Lee Harker, and The Fullcroft Ghosts. So I do have quite a few now, Darcy Coates, to read, and I'm looking forward to reading the ones that I haven't yet because I really enjoy her haunted house ones. And then I have a few science fiction books. I have Stars and Bones by Gareth L. Powell. So I read his other series and didn't like the way it ended, but I liked the first books. So we'll see on how this goes. I don't know anything about it. It looks space opera-ish, and I think it's a standalone. I don't know. We'll have to see. I also got Dead Silence by S.A. Barnes. I've been wanting to read this for a couple of years now, I guess, whenever it came out. So this is a horror, sci-fi horror one, I think, was with a haunted, something that they go and check out that's haunted. I don't remember. Something that reappears. I don't know. And then I picked up The Paradox Hotel by Rob Hart because I've seen mixed things on this one, and I know it has to do with, I thought it was time travel or something. Maybe it's just a weird hotel. I don't remember. I just know it has something science fiction, so I'll look more into that later. And then I have only a few of the last things are fantasy. I picked up book 2 and 3 of the Dark Elf trilogy, which starts R.A. Salvatore's Drizzt books. And I have never read Drizzt. No, I take it back. I read The Crystal Shard, which is technically book 4, but it was the first one published. So I read that many years ago, many years ago, like when it came out kind of thing. And I've never come back to that. I don't even remember that book. I got rid of that book so long ago, I don't remember. So I did find book 2 and 3 in the Drizzt and Legend of Drizzt, the starting of the series, the Dark Elf trilogy. So I just need to get the first one, because book 2 is Exile and 3 is Sojourn. I think the first one is Homeland. I'm not positive. I probably should know, but I might have to buy that one. Yeah, Homeland. So I might have to buy that one online, and then I can start this series. So I know I've heard a lot of people talk about Drizzt over the years. Even my brother's read Drizzt. I have not read Drizzt, so I want to start that series. But I found the second, and the third books because I want to read the trilogy anyway. And then the last book I got, and I probably didn't need this in hardback, but it was $4. So I bought The Choice by Nora Roberts, which is book 3 in the Dragonheart Legacy. So I have the first 2 in paperback that I've bought when they were on sale at some point. So I haven't read this series yet. I just know it has to do something with dragons, I guess. I don't know. I'm guessing it's kind of urban fantasy. I don't know what it is for Nora Roberts, but it's her last paranormal. So the point is I'd like to get to this series, and it's good that I have all the books now. It is a hardback, not my favorite, but it was $4, and I thought I might read that series here fairly soon, because I've been thinking about picking up the first book in the series, and I might want to binge it. So I just got it, and that's it. So I'm not going to pick up all these books because that's too many. So as I said, I think that was 24, I think, something close to that. So those are all the used books or discounted books that I got. I will have another video on all the new books that I got. So anyway, if you've read any of these or think I should pick them up sooner rather than later, let me know. My TBR is huge, so any help you can give me would be good. Other than that, let me know what you got in October. Did you hit any good deals or get to go to a library book sale? Let me know. And Cooper and I will see you later.